What did the big man, Bill O'Reilly, say as a point of contrast? Good to have you.
Well, I'm not going to quibble with your commentary because it's, I would say, mostly accurate, but you're missing the bigger picture on the economy. If you go to microeconomics, the president overhypes what he's done and slams Biden, and Biden wasn't as bad as Trump makes him out to be. That's true. But we're not living in Hoovervilles here, okay? So the Democrats say, oh, this is the worst it got. It's not. Okay? Yet is a word that is ill-defined. We are not in economic trouble. Most people are working. Most people are getting by. Everyone's annoyed at the higher prices, particularly insurance. And I was the one who broached this with President Trump early in January about getting a summit meeting among the insurance companies in the White House, because you're absolutely right. They would fold, and he could get something done very fast and put pressure on the Democrats who will vote against anything he wants. So I don't believe that we're in an economic crisis. We're going in the wrong direction. And there is an opportunity with the tax refunds coming in to juice the economy because it's based on consumer spending. Tariffs you can debate all day long. That message wasn't an economic message sent by the Supreme Court. It was, we're going to rein in the president. He's getting a little bit too authoritative here. Balance of power has got to be respected. That's what that was about. It wasn't about a specific economic plan.
I agree. Okay. I don't think it was about economics at all. It was just about the plain reading of that statute. I told you that decision was going to go against him.
I didn't have any thought on it one way or the other. It could have gone for him because the Constitution is vague on it. So you've got an economy that could be better, but it's not that bad. However, there are many voters who feel they're paying too much money and they're sinking in debt, primarily not in the grocery store, but in insurance. That's the real killer. So rather than chance it, the Republican Party is very shrewd. It said, look, the Democratic Party, with no leadership at all, none. Who's the leader of the Democratic Party, Cuomo?
I don't disagree. I don't disagree. They really got to. They really have to figure that out. I'm not disagreeing with you. That is a problem. That is a problem.
We're gonna. All right. Big problem. So we're gonna lay a trap. We're gonna lay a trap, and the trap is going to be the Constitution, which every elected official has to swear to uphold the laws of the country, which require that Americans are protected by their government. So the question is, put Americans first on the protection list. Who stands up for that? And all Republicans leap to their feet, and the Democrats sit there. Are you kidding me? How stupid are they? They could have just stood up. That doesn't mean you are not compassionate to migrants. That doesn't mean you support unfair policies toward immigrants. It means that you understand what the Constitution says. But not one Democrat was smart enough to do it. Okay? So that
I agree with your assessment, and I said the same thing. But and it definitely gives them their campaign ads. But you know what the counter's going to be. They're all about the Constitution. It's this guy who violates it, and I'm not standing up because he tells me to.
Right,
He's not my king.
People who believe what they want to believe. But you're looking for the middle ground voter. That's what you're looking for. All the Democrats have right now, this is the only thing they have, is Epstein. That's all they have.
And the economy.
And I'll prove it. Right after the State of the Union ended, I switched over to CNN, reliably Democrat. What were they talking about? Epstein. We're talking about the economy. We're talking about foreign affairs. We're talking about any of that with Epstein. That's all they have. And that's going to backlash against the Democratic Party. You wait and see.
Why?
Because it's overdone, number one. And number two, after all of this time, there isn't a shred of evidence linking President Trump to any illegality.
All right, listen, I'm not differing. I'm not differing with the conclusion. I do disagree that it's shallow. There's nothing there. Every time I look at the database, it gets more troubling to me that obviously this was being concealed by government agencies long before Trump. However, what do we do about the DOJ having been exposed by the Oversight Committee Democrats and by multiple media outlets that they took out allegations against the president and didn't inform and did so in violation of federal law? What is to be done about that? Forget about the allegations themselves for this moment.
It's easy.
What do you do about that?
The Attorney General, Pam Bondi, should come out tomorrow and say, this is why we didn't release him. And I'll tell you why the Justice Department didn't release him. Because it's unverified. And if you understand our Constitution, there's a due process element to it. You just don't throw out stuff that has not been vetted in a sense that it's responsible. So there's been one document put out by this alleged victim, and Trump's name was not mentioned. There have been a couple held back, and I understand it's because they are unverified, that the FBI tried and looked, couldn't find anything. And here's the proof.
Two questions.
You think Christopher Wray, the former FBI chief, you're interrupting me in an important point. Okay, let me make the point.
Go ahead.
You think Christopher Wray, the FBI chief under Biden, Merrick Garland, the Attorney General under Biden, all the Trump haters in the Biden White House would not have put out a verified accusation against Donald Trump? So if it's unverified, then you don't put it out. No law enforcement agency puts out unverified information. That's what's going on. But Bondi,
I agree,
should explain it. That's all.
I agree. She won't, first of all, because she's being told not to. Second, here's the problem with your analysis, okay? There are two problems. One is not about Trump, which is, what do you mean they weren't vetted? They had these for years. There are multiple interviews with an accuser. And again, I don't know what she says because I can't see them. But they removed them, which takes you to the second problem. The law that was signed by Trump does not give them the ability to exclude things on the basis of vetting. It is not one of the exceptions. They were legally required to turn it over, and they did not.
Wrong. They can classify anything that they want, or else you have trial by mob. Okay?
Well, that's
if you want trial by mob, no, it's
different.
not. It's exactly the same thing.
You're arguing why they broke the law.
No. The law that was passed says you release the Epstein files, but you can classify, if you're the federal government, stuff that's not vetted. If you can't, then you have trial by mob. That's what you have.
It's not in the law.
So
I agree with your concern.
Come shooting out.
I agree with your concern.
No,
I agree with your concern.
You can't do that. It's unconstitutional. You can't do it. It's unethical. It's unconstitutional. It's ridiculous. Trial by mob is not what we do in this country. Don't you understand that?
Bill, not only do I understand it, I understand it legally and intimately, personally. Okay? I understand it very well. Here is the problem. They can sue that the law is unconstitutional, but the law does not allow them to hold back things that they believe are uncorroborated. It's very clear in the law.
That's not true. You can classify a president can classify any document that man or woman wants to. And you know that.
I know that that is the practice of the DOJ. I'm saying the law was drafted to get around it.
No, it's the law.
No.
It's
that
the
is
law.
DOJ guideline. The federal law that Trump signed superseded it. They should sue on it or explain it. That's all I'm saying. Look, I don't disagree with your policy arguments. I don't. I get the concerns. They're real. But the law is the law. That's all I'm saying. They're in violation of it. I got to jump, and I'm not just pulling your chain. I read the law very carefully. They have to explain it.
And that's what they did. Okay.
All right.
Good debate,
they should
Cuomo.
explain it.
I want to tell everybody.
You.
I want to tell everybody.
Yes,
wait. You're going
Go
to
ahead.
Israel. Okay. Stay safe. A week from tonight, I'm going to do the hour. The whole Cuomo hour. And I'm bringing
highest
back
rated ever.
the O'Reilly factor. Okay? I'm bringing it back. A week from tonight. You can't miss this. When you see the cast that we've assembled, you're going to be jealous.
It's going to be a lot of, it's going to be the Everybody Hates Chris show. Bill O'Reilly, thank you very much. Thank you for subbing in. Thank you for being here tonight, and I'll be talking to you. Take care. Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.